Welcome to episode 3. In this episode, I share my experience participating in Stu's workshop on building successful membership sites. I discuss the importance of customer, community, and content, as well as the power of continuity and creating a messaging map to effectively communicate with your potential customers. Tune in to learn the secrets behind creating a thriving membership site business. Thank you, ChatGPT, for creating this episode title, show notes, and transcript. You know when someone is selling from stage and at the end, the audience gets up and rushes to the back of the room to buy? That's a table rush. My name is Mischa Z, and the Table Rush Talk Show is all about bringing you the tools, strategies, and tactics that you can use to grow your audience and inspire them to buy. Stu has built this crazy membership business, right? And I'm on this workshop, and I think there's a few thousand people on this workshop. He said the number. There's a few thousand people, and he does it once a year. And he's all about scarcity. So he opened up the doors to the workshop, and 2,000 of us came rushing in. And he's awesome, and it's worth it. Just wait till you hear the rest of this. So and then I paid the $47 for the VIP upgrade. By the way, 47 is a magic number. So I paid it. In internet marketing, you'll see a lot of stuff that's $47. But I paid the $47 upgrade, and I think there's a couple hundred of us in the membership that showed up in the VIP recordings, which Stu was live on. And I'm sure a lot of other people bought and didn't show. I don't know how much his membership site software levels of coaching are, but I'm sure it can get fairly rich because he's the best in the world at it. Russell Brunson actually has brought him into our trainings, and he's awesome. I'm just going to say again, Stu, I love you. I love your training. I love your authenticity, the way you do your business. People, go check him out. So anyway, Stu, if I start comparing where I am right now and how I'm relatively new and, building my online business and to where Stu is crushing it, oh my gosh, it can break your heart, right? On some of my episodes from before, I talked about the gap and the gain. I should label those episodes. They're like the Peo a Deo and when Barry and Blue threw poo at you episodes, or that time I blew my pitch. That's what it is. It's the episodes between that time I blew my pitch and when Barry and Blue threw poo at you, part 2. All those episodes in there, I talk about the gap and the gain, and which is awesome. Go check those out. It's a great way to be really happy about where you are in life and what you're doing and what we're doing. So again, if I'm comparing my beginning with Stu's end or anybody else's end, I mean, it's so hard on the psyche, right? It's a bad thing to do. We are running our own race. I just have a note here. We are running our own race. So as long as I can look at my learnings, my gains of where I was this morning and where I am today, where I was a week ago to where I am today, where I was a year ago to where I am today, etc., 10 years ago to today, I'm like, oh my gosh, for me and my journey, I'm crushing. So I love that takeaway from that. Okay, so the messaging map. Oh, so let's see. Here we go. I'm going to get to the messaging map. I'm going to get to the formula for your elevator pitch from now to new method, which is pretty awesome. You're going to love it. It's worth the wait. If this is the end of part 2 and I'm pitching part 3 of this episode, please listen because you're going to want to. Okay. What are the 3 areas that we are looking at to see if a market is a good fit for a membership site. Again, we're trying to get continuity. I'm trying to create a membership site that's sticky, that gets people to join and pay me a monthly fee. So I have a business. If you don't have continuity, you don't have a business. Russell Brunson credits that quote to somebody. Can't remember who it is right now, but I like the idea. I've had businesses before where I didn't have continuity per se, and that's no fun. I was thinking about this too, like continuity as a loan officer, my continuity was the system I had in place to pull my old customers back to me, if that makes sense. So again, my continuity when I was in the mortgage industry was the systems that I had in place to consistently reach out and add value to my old customers, the people that I had done loans for, so that when they needed new loans, when their kids needed new loans, when their friends needed loans, I was top of mind. So that's kind of continuity. And I was fairly good at that. So I had a good business. And people in the mortgage business now that are good at that are probably doing just fine as the mortgage business has cratered. So anyway, there's the 3 C's for if a market is a good fit. It's customer, community, and content. The 3 C's. Number 1, your customer. How do you evaluate if the customer would be a good fit for your market? Here you go. Are they passionate? Are people passionate about this topic? Are they buying? So it doesn't matter what they're buying as long as it is something they are buying. I love that. So again, the customer that you want to offer this membership site to, are they passionate? Are they buying? Are they consuming content? I love that. Love that. Is there a consistent problem to solve? And are they looking to master what it is you're selling them? So if you think about membership sites, there's membership sites for painting, for making cookies, for making brownies, for the gamut is crazy, for guitar playing, for walking your dog, for dog training, for piano playing, those are like mastery type things, but think about podcast guesting and mastering the flow of organic traffic, right? So my organic traffic membership site. The more I talk about that, I'm loving that name. I'm going to make sure that I register that before I go live with this video, this episode. So yeah, those are questions you can ask yourself. Community. Where can we build a community? Where can we build community? You don't need a massive community to get started. You just need a place to begin. And so, do you have a following of any sort? It's a question to ask yourself. Or can you build community around it? Okay. And this, I started taking notes of how many stories he told, customer stories. I think I got to 6 or 7. It was crazy. And don't worry, I'm getting to the point of where ChatGPT, how I use ChatGPT. And I've been using ChatGPT a ton, right, to help me with these exercises that I'm going to talk about and actually refining my avatar. I'm going to do an episode about how I melted down this week. And it was clear that I was melting down because I was not clear on who the customer is that I'm trying to serve. And I need to commit and test and try to that. You can look forward to that episode coming up and the importance of that and the value of that and all that. So we had, he told a story. Savine was her name. She had an audience of less than 200. She had 17 founding members when she did her founding member launch. And 1 year she had 270 members, I believe he said. And the membership cost was such that she was all of a sudden generating $7,000 a month in reoccurring revenue. Like, that's the power of a membership site, right? I want $7,000 a month in reoccurring revenue just after a year getting started, having a small audience. So you don't need a big community to get started, a big community to get started. So, and then content was the third thing. You have to provide some sort of content. Here's where he told story number 2, the 2 Scots, but I don't remember what those stories were. All right, here's where we get into the messaging map. And that is when we are describing what we do. And it's the way we help our customer or our potential customer. It's the way we can help them understand very quickly that we can help them. And we create one particular thing, and then we create contrast, and then we're the bridge for the contrast, right? So the contrast is this: their now world. The contrast is their future world. So their pain state now. The future world is where we want to get them to go, or where they want to go to. And then the contrast, or we bridge the gap of that contrast, and the membership site bridges that gap for them, and they see the gap here. I'm going to read the notes specifically as I wrote them. The gap doesn't get closed automatically. There is a process to that. They will naturally see the membership as the bridge. The contrast is the key, and there's an exercise for it. And this is probably a great time to end this episode. Listen to the next, and you will get to learn the exercise. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Table Rush Talk Show. For resources to help you sell your stuff, go to belove.media/resources. That's belove.media/resources. And be sure to subscribe, comment, 5-star, and share. Thank you again for listening.